What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Choops. I like that polo you got there.
I like the one you got on. This is a nice
Thank
polo.
you.
This is a really nice polo.
This is probably one of the swankiest pieces of wrestling merch I think that we have.
I was pissed I couldn't find my TWE hat, but this will have to do.
Nah, it's okay. You look fine.
Thanks. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, I try. Anyway, welcome back, guys. It is Wednesday. We're back with a brand new episode. As always, make sure you're following us at Junkies Pod on X for all things Wrestling Junkies Podcast. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But most importantly, please do us a huge favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we need your help to get there. I think the count right now is 389. We'd like to get to 400 by the end of the year. Choops, if you would, tell our friends that magic number.
Tell one person if you like what we're doing here, and you're going to like what we do tonight. If you like what we're doing here, just tell one person. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Join our community, and while you're at it, join the Main Event Wrestling Network community at mainevent_net on all social media platforms. If you want great live podcasts, blogs, fan art, memes, you name it, we have it. We'll make you laugh. We'll make you think. Come along on this journey with us. Support the homies over at the Main Event Wrestling Network. Speaking of which of it, Kyle says 390. That's a live update there. So that's pretty fucking cool. Thank you to our newest subscriber there. And such a professional look from the Junkies today. And it is all about that action. I mean, couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is.
I mean, hey, we did kind of put out there, act accordingly. I think that this is accordingly enough. So, I think we're doing well.
That wasn't a message for just the audience. That was a message for us as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, come on. Everything that he's done for us this year, fuck.
Yeah.
I can dress up and wear a polo, Yeah.
I wear a polo every day. I just changed.
I like it. Yeah. Hey, podcast dad, you done with the Christmas shopping yet?
Nope.
Have you started?
Nope.
All right. Well, if you do, head over to our merch store. If you need a mug, if you need a hoodie, you need a beanie, you need a tank top, go check us out. I do need to get a Christmas promo code out. I will be getting that on the socials in the next couple of days here. But this promo code, you know it, you love it, GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. Remember, promo code WJP2024, site-wide 25% off with that code. They have just dropped some incredible new merch, some great three-quarter sleeves, some hoodies. I think they're still working on that hat for the podcast, Dad, but I do hear that the ideas are a-flowing. So go support the crew over at Gorilla Press Apparel. If you're a wrestler, a promoter, manager, you need some merch for those tables on your shows, go and DM Will at Gorilla Press APP on X. He is taking commissions right now. If you've not been over to the website and seen Gary J's shirts that are over there, they're selling like fucking crazy. So don't miss out. DM Gorilla Press Apparel for yours today. Podcast Dad, I think it is time to introduce the man of the hour.
Let's do it. I'm tired of hearing you talk, so let's do it.
Okay, 1, fuck you. 2, I don't know where the Junkies would be without this individual. He's really done a lot to help us out this year. It's again just one of our favorite promotions that we've had the pleasure to work with this year. Can't say enough good things about him and this roster. And this weekend, they will be having their Bangers Only 5 show. This will be at the Roger Spencer Community Center in Tyrone, Georgia. We've got Action World Champion Tim Bosby in action. We've got Bobby Flacco. We have got Rob Killjoy. We've got Cody Fluffman, Adam Priest. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. But like the podcast dad said, no one wants to hear me talk about that. So without further ado, please welcome Action Wrestling CEO Matt Griffin. Matt, what's going on, man?
Oh, just getting ready for we're just over 48 hours away for Bangers Only 5. We're going to close the year strong. It's been a wild and crazy year for us at Action. We turned 6 years old, and boy, it's no hyperbole to say it was our craziest year yet. And I got to meet you guys at the beginning of this year, so I'm happy that we can do this and close out the year with a talk. And you guys have done a lot for us and for independent wrestling in general. So thank you. It's been great to meet you.
Pleasure's all ours. It's been a hell of a wild ride here, and we definitely can't wait to see what 2025 has got in store for us. But yeah, like I said, 2 days out from Bangers Only 5. Just fatigue level right now. I mean, we've seen it up close. How are you feeling right now?
Even when I feel like I'm getting enough sleep, I don't feel like I'm getting enough sleep just because, stress levels in independent wrestling it's very DIY. You don't tend to have large crews, and you're doing lots of things yourself, and you're trying to make sure everything works. And did I go ahead and make the Costco run to buy water and concessions? And is everything at the building that I needed to be, or do I got to do it later? Do I got to clean some stuff? There's so many little things you have to do. And you got to make sure that you have the proper lineup, the proper match order. Is there something that has to go before something else? You want to make sure you lay out correctly. I've always felt like the way I pace a show and match order is a strength. And I always want to make sure I nail it. And this is going to be a real interesting show coming up Friday because, well, we have an Action World Champion who's never actually wrestled in the state of Georgia before.
Oh.
So that's interesting how things can happen.
You're not kidding. I mean, when I saw that him won the world title, man, I texted the podcast that, and we both kind of just had this no fucking way kind of moment here. Especially, I mean, when you look at people who've had it this year and seeing that name added to the list as well. I mean, it's been a fucking hell of a year for that strap.
It has. I take the fact that there is interest in the championship as a big compliment. I do want titles to mean something, and it means something to me because whoever is the Action World Champion really is like the head of the promotion. I'm not wrestling for us. I'm just a CEO. I'm just a suit. Nobody's really buying tickets to come see me. But they are hopefully buying tickets to see whoever holds the championship with what it represents and the history behind it. It has been a super interesting year for the championship, too, because our first champion, AC Mack, held it for over 2 years. He was defeated by Eric Royal, who then held it for over a year. So, we had several years go by where only 2 men held the championship. And, it's bounced around quite a bit. Bobby Flacco defeated Manders in October. Yep. Flacco was defeated by Warhorse. Usually when you have a champion go into another promotion and put the title up, they, are usually victorious. And that didn't happen at TWE, our friends up Total Wrestling Entertainment in late November. There was a title change, and all of a sudden Tim Bosby beat Warhorse, and Warhorse was a champion for one day. Crazy things been happening this year. So, Warhorse was a very worthy champion. He was a former world champion, and Bosby, I look forward to see what he will be able to do as he defends it against Bobby Flacco.
Let's talk a little bit about Bosby. I think when Eric and I first got introduced to Bosby, it was, okay, this guy's got something here. What have you seen from Bosby? And now that he's representing Action, like, how do you feel about him representing the company as a whole?
Well, I feel very good with his talent level. First off, just to go ahead and put that out there, because you have some people who come into wrestling and they don't have much in the way of sports credentials. He's a champion level wrestler. He won a lot of tournaments in high school. He has legit credentials, so he didn't come into pro wrestling as somebody who didn't have an athletic background. And he has, over the last year and a half, really taken TWE in Chattanooga by storm. He's done a lot of good stuff out in Memphis. He's one of those to watch guys that you really want to go ahead and put your eyes on. He gets over with his personality. He's very smooth in the ring. He has grown leaps and bounds with his in-ring game. He was a finalist for this year. Well, you guys were there. Yep. For the Action Future Showcase, Scenic City Weekend. I think very highly of his skill, and as far as how he'll do as a champion, we'll see, because Bobby Flacco is looking to make it a one-match reign.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of people that just have it, Tim Bosby is just one of those guys that has it, and yeah, definitely excited to to see what the future holds for him, especially as the face of Action Wrestling. Another match that I'm personally excited for, we've got Alex Kane taking on Jaden Newman. I mean, we everybody knows what Alex Kane is capable of, but Jaden is definitely one of our favorite people that we've gotten to know over this past year, and just the definition of grit, persistence, hard work. I mean, he's at the top of the list there, especially in TWE. What was the mindset of putting these two head to head?
Well, they had some personal issues. Matt Sells and Jaden Newman teamed up earlier this year to defeat Shug D and Shug D and Kevin Ryan to win the titles, the Action Tag titles for a show before losing them back. And Matt Sells got his head shaved. And Jaden has, had some issues with Alex Kane. It was a pretty heavily, we'll say, disputed match between the two of them in October. And I felt really confident in ordering a rematch for the next Tyrone show as soon as both were available. Alex Kane is, his credentials are, like Bosby, he was a wrestler. He has legit athletic credentials. He's very much a student of the game. Alex Kane is always somebody who's asking questions. He's trying to figure things out. He wants to know things beyond what is in front of him, like wrestling history. It's like, why did this happen at this time? And he's held multiple titles, including the world champion. He came into the year as the Action World Champion. He defeated Adam Priest and Cruel in a three-way dance to win the championship, which gave the good hand all the championships at once coming into the year. And Jaden Newman is somebody, he got into the business. He was a 10-year veteran when he was 24 years old. And that's something that's rare. He's still deceptively young for his experience level. So Jaden Newman is somebody I've been able to, over the last several years, get to really know personally and watch him grow. He travels. He and Adam Priest are the ones who made it a world championship, actually, because Jaden challenged Adam Priest over at WXW in Germany last year. And when they came back, Adam Priest defended the title, and you can watch it on our one of our mystery shows. Scott Hensley announces it as the Action Championship, and some of the fans go, World Championship, and he's like, okay. I give him the thumbs up, and it's like, well, literally the fans asked for it. So, Jaden Newman's been back to Europe. I know he's discussing arrangements to go over again. He goes to, he's in talks to go to Mexico. He's wrestled in Canada, California. So he's somebody who's becoming world traveled. He just debuted at Center Stage for GCW. Yep. He's and the thing with Jaden is he's still on the way up. He hasn't hit his ceiling yet.
Not even close.
Yeah. No. Cody Fluffman and Rob Killjoy. Why is this match going to be so much fun?
Well, you're talking about two of the most dynamic personalities in Action. Rob Killjoy's been a part of Action for several years, and he's racked up several impressive wins. Fluffman is somebody who just sort of came out of nowhere, and fans instantly gravitated towards him. And it's just a fun match. I mean, you got the Duckman versus the Fluffman. And both have a lot of antics, and I made the match because I really just wanted to see what they would do and how fans would react. I like to do that. I definitely will do things on shows that might not be expected because I just want to see what happens.
Yeah. That's fair. You're the boss. You're allowed.
And since you have mentioned Fluff, I want to talk about the other half of his connection, the Buff. Sean Legacy named to WWE's ID program. I don't know that you and I have had a chance to talk about kind of your reaction to hearing that, but let me ask you right now when you got a camera on you, what do you think?
I mean, Sean Legacy is somebody who debuted this year. He's tremendous athleticism, tremendous charisma. He's got deceptive speed in the ring. He's a fabulous person. He came in when Cody Fluffman actually challenged Alex Kane for the World Championship in January. He came out to watch because they are legitimate friends, and that's not a storyline. They are friends. Yeah. And I basically said, hey, we tried this out as a tag team, and they wanted to. Sean Legacy's, just like I said about Jade Newman, I don't think he's as good as he's going to be yet. He's got a lot more room to climb, which is positive. You always want to have room for growth. Sure. And on that note, right now he's still over in Germany. He's been touring Europe for the last month and a half or two. So, he's out there upping his game, and obviously the WWID program kind of keyed in on him. Very smart choice. There's not a lot of talent in the Southeast, but he's who are in that program. I think a lot more eyes need to be on Southeast talent. He's definitely a great representative. Very happy. Hopefully he's able to go ahead and really take advantage of it this coming year.
So with Bangers 5, obviously you are locked in, you're focused. After this show, can you kind of take a look back at the year ago? This was a lot of fun, or is it just full steam ahead into 2025?
Really, when you're a wrestling promoter, I mean, it's always about the next show. The only time I really have breaks to take are if I look and it's like, oh, it's 4 weeks and I don't have any other shows to do, because I've been actually performing on myself as a manager. They don't like me a lot in Georgia outside of Action Wrestling.
We're gonna get to that, don't you worry.
Oh yeah. We got something to talk about here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not shy to talk about it if you see any of the shows that I'm on. You pretty much I think when you get a long break you'll look back, because sometimes you have a show, you have another show, you have another show, and so much stacks up back to back that you're in constant promotion mode. And I kind of feel like I'm constantly pushing something because I'm scheduling my show dates out in advance. I have a January date set. I'm waiting for confirmation on another January date. I'm looking forward to schedule everything. I want to try and have all my dates at least into June. July is about the only time I have a break. So it's actually, because I very rarely run anything in July with the exception of the Scenic City Invitational.
No big deal.
But it never stops, and it shouldn't, because momentum is a very tricky thing. You can feel like a hot wrestling promotion, and then a show or two later, it's like, okay, it's very cyclical, especially down the Southeast. When August hits and high school football starts, for example, on Friday, high school football is what affects me because I mostly run Fridays. Promotions that run Saturdays, you get smacked right in the face with Georgia Tech, Alabama, Tennessee, or what have you for those programs. So you're fighting college football. It's constantly an ebb and flow. But this year, just thinking about it and looking back, I mean, we had our first cage match with Adam Priest and Cruel in June. We had a show WrestleMania weekend. We were able to run at the H2O Wrestling Center and run a very well-reviewed show called Dean, which is available on IWTV. We had lists where we had 3 of the best 5 matches on our show of that whole weekend, which is just very, very humbling. As you guys are probably aware, we brought Mustafa Ali in to wrestle a guy named Landon Hale, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
No,
I've heard about his work a time or two. Yeah.
But thanks to you, we were able to bring a star of the caliber of Mustafa Ali in, and he was incredible to work with. he's somebody who started and worked the indies for years. So, this is just absolutely his wheelhouse to be able to come in. Was a very much a pleasure to have him. Very glad you guys could come down for that weekend. That's a big deal because that was just a tremendous match and experience. And he defended a championship here.
Yeah.
Just thinking of all the other championships that have been defended at Action 2, Darian Bankston's defended the TW Championship here as well. Yep. I know I'm forgetting something that I'm going to be embarrassed that I forgot later, but that's a credit because I wanted Action when we started up to be a place that wrestlers wanted to be. I wanted people to be asking about coming in, wrestlers outside the state. Wrestlers who are notable with other companies. I wanted this to be the type of place that, hey, that's the place in the Southeast. And I feel like we've done a pretty good job of that. There's lots of good promotions down here. And, I feel like we're neck and neck with them. Just the fact that I heard from after the WrestleMania weekend Dean show from promoters in other states with companies that I respect and admire greatly and think the world of their product, to have them message and one of them said that they were jealous and they want to be able to run a show like that. And I was like, wow, that's, I won't say who it was from, but based on who it was from, it was like, that is a hell of a compliment because I say the same thing about their shows.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, hell of a year. Maybe we can top it next year. Maybe we won't. But there's always something to work towards, and I'm real happy with that.
Hell yeah!
All right, Eric.
Hell yeah.
All right, Eric. I'm gonna let you go, but let's talk about Mr. Manager here.
I'm not necessarily going to go manager. I'm going to talk wrestler here. We're going to take the promoter hat off a second. It's my understanding that you're going to be competing in a fucking death match.
I am going to be. I cannot wait.
You and CJ Lawler. Okay, so my question is, what the fuck?
Well,
it's a good question.
I think deathmatch wrestling is kind of a stain upon Georgia, and I want to stop it from creeping in. There have been 2 shows. It's called the Blood and Honey series, run by Nathan Mowry, who's with the Coven of the Goat, and they're, I believe in pro wrestling, and they're bringing glass and thumbtacks and exploding poppers. Nathan actually, was trying to compete in a match in August in the Rumble Jack at Southern Honor Wrestling. He hits me with a popper back, and there's a huge explosion on my back. And is that wrestling? Some people would say yes, but no, deathmatch wrestling sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and become part of deathmatch wrestling so I can destroy it from the inside. It's going to be Blood and Honey 3 on December 29th at Monk's Meadery, and I'm coming to kill the business.
What a name! What a spot to have the match.
I got some ideas. I got some ideas. I might not think very highly of certain aspects, but I know a lot about wrestling. I've been around a long time.
Yeah, he does.
There's a lot of ways to make a person bleed, and I've made CJ Lawler bleed before.
Oh, I don't like that either. I don't like that. I don't like that. You
asked.
We did.
But
we did.
But on a serious note, I'm very excited to do it. I've never had a retirement match. I have, it's to quote a friend, I'm in this until the wheels fall off.
I like it.
I can't argue that. Can't argue that at all.
But I am coming to kill the business, guys.
Man. Eric, I don't know how to
Matt, I don't fucking know how. I don't know that it can be followed up. But at this point, as we kind of wrap this up here, once again from both of us, thank you for your friendship, your support, everything you've done to help out the Wrestling Junkies podcast this year. It just, you don't know what it means to us, so we thank you very much. We're gonna be watching this weekend. Can't wait to check out this show. For everybody that's watching right now, how can everybody go check out Bangers Only 5 this weekend?
Well, Bangers Only 5 from Action Wrestling will be live Friday night on IWTV at 7:30 Eastern. We have over 100 events that you can watch on the back catalog on VOD on IWTV if you'd like to go ahead and check it out. The Bangers Only name and the reason we came up with 5, well, that just became kind of a joke. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do this show every year. Why not? And we've got a pretty stacked card. I feel like we stacked the card with the best talent in the Southeast. Every show we possibly can. Very happy with this card. And we have a complete wild card. In some ways, Tim Bosby defending the Action World title against Bobby Flacco is going to be one of the weirdest matches I've ever promoted, simply because the last match Flacco had was defeating Manders to win the title 2 months ago. Now he's going back in as the challenger again. So, but you can watch it live on IWTV. Just plugs for everything else. You can see it right there. The Action Wrestling Twitter handle. You can follow me personally at Matt the Mouth. We are Action Wrestling on Blue Sky, on Facebook and Instagram, Action Wrestling and the number 1. And to check some of our free YouTube content out, you can go to youtube.com/Action Wrestling. We've got lots of great shows in the back catalog, including what a lot of people said was the independent show of the year in Dean from April WrestleMania weekend. That's on our VOD on IWTV. So we'd love if you check it out, as well as our April anniversary show, which had Mustafa Ali versus Landon Hale in a match brought to us by you. So there's so much in the back catalog. We'd love for you to check that out.
That was fun.
Absolutely. Well,
Appreciate
Matt, yeah, thank you once again. I know that we've already got SCI penciled in for July, but I guarantee we're going to be headed down a bit sooner. At least I will anyway. I don't want to speak for the podcast, Dad, but it's been a while since we've had a good road trip. So I think that, we might need to make that happen here in the next couple of months.
Good. I can't wait to see y'all again. I appreciate it. If we don't get to speak personally before then, I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. And December 29th, I'm going to try to kill a guy.
I like it.
It's in the name. Deathmatch.
It is.
Yep,
it is.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Now I'm going to kill you. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But thanks again, Matt. Give him hell.
All right. Thank you.
Nice. See you. Many thanks again to Matt Griffin, Action Wrestling, incredible roster and crew that we've gotten to know over the last year. It's always a pleasure to have them on. And thank you to everybody that has joined us tonight. As a quick reminder, before we kind of get into the last few minutes of our show here, follow us on X at Junkies Pod, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. But once again, please do us a huge favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We need your help to get there. Right now, the count is 390, according to Mr. OTM. If everybody that is watching right now just heads over to YouTube, takes a couple of seconds and hits subscribe, we've already hit our goal, and we're on our way to working towards our next goal of 500. Every little bit helps, and we greatly appreciate you guys for continuing to stick with the Wrestling Junkies podcast out. I know that we're getting a little long in the tooth here, but real quick, anything that caught your eye from NXT last night?
Yeah, Eddie Thorpe. What the hell?
Right?
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but
why did I love it? Yes. Yeah.
I loved it, but I also can't help but wonder why the fuck couldn't Lexus King have done that?
Well, because he stinks.
His dad
but
would have.
Eddie Thorpe, man, that was a fun twist. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I really did.
That. Yeah.
The showdown between Owafemi and Trick Williams was very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Still worried about that match, though.
You're worried about that match?
A little bit.
Why?
because we've had that second gear effect with Trick
That's-
Williams title matches these last
that's
couple of
fine.
pay-per-views. I know how great Obafemi is, and I know
I was
that's
gonna say,
exactly
I
what
have-
you're about to get into.
I have yet to see a
but-
bad Obafemi match, so
but-
I'm good.
Again, the last couple of matches have been just kind of stuck in something you can't get out of. At least that's just my, personal opinion. New champs at New Year's Evil. I mean, I think anything's possible at this point.
Yes on the world champion, no on the women's.
Okay. Also, hi JPJ. Thanks for stopping by tonight, man.
'Cause I think Vicor is going to
yeah.
cost Julia.
So do you think that Steph versus okay, all right. So I'm just trying to work the math to stand and deliver there, but the math ain't mathing for me right now. But
You don't have to. It doesn't have to right now. We'll get there.
We'll
get
talk
there.
about it. Yeah.
We will. We will.
Alexis King is going for.
No, I know. Shush. Nobody cares.
He's going for the Heritage Cup, but okay. What's next for Ethan Page?
He's going to the main roster.
He looks troubled. Do you think this is it? Just a surprise?
Yeah.
All up here. You think use the transfer window? Okay.
I think he's the perfect person I think to use for that transfer window. Like, what else is he going to do in NXT right now? There's not. I mean, he came in, he won the world title, so.
Kyle thinks headed to the north. Josh Alexander's contract is up, I believe, in late January, early February. So
it's February 25th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I said that yesterday on the show.
News.
Like, yes, he would be perfect. Like, yeah, no, I think he's a perfect fit for the main roster. I think you can plug and play him anywhere, and I think he'd be fine. Plug and play him in a feud with Cody, I think you'd be okay. Like
all right.
I don't think he needs to be in NXT much longer. Like they figured out in how many months how to use Ethan Page. Like they figured it out. They figured out his role. There you go. Shit, pair him up with Grayson
in
Waller.
5 years.
I mean, you're breaking up Theory and Waller. Pair him with Waller. Like that could be a lot of fun. That could be Theory's first big feud. Like
I might borrow that for Universe. I might borrow that.
He's just talented. Like I don't think. I know they like to have veterans down there sometimes, but I don't think right now you need him. Like he's kind of just floating. You've moved past his world title run. I don't see him going back and getting in that world title picture again. So we might as well just bump him up and hell, put him up there for a mid-card title. I think he'd do just fine. But yeah, that's kind of the big ones is Eddie Thorpe and that stare down. And
yeah,
I'm excited to see New Year's Evil because I think Obafemi is going to have a good match because he always has a good match. So
okay, well, I certainly hope he does. Last two NXT title matches haven't really
they haven't
for me, but
they haven't.
Yeah.
But Obafemi's a different animal.
So AEW Dynamite winner is coming. Apparently that's tonight.
All right.
Didn't know that. So we have got Mariah May taking on Mina Shirakawa. I think we've got the finals of the Dynamite Diamond Ring, Cole versus O'Reilly. I think that this is how you set up Cole getting to MJF at World's End.
I'm excited for the Mariah May match. I don't know why they're doing it on TV special, but
yeah.
So
yeah, that seems a little odd, especially because they did have to kind of shoehorn that segment into Full Gear there. It could have just been a TV segment. That's just me.
Could have been tonight's segment.
Looks like Willow Nightingale and oh wait, no, that's a Thursday Night Collision taping. I apologize. I wish there weren't so many fucking ads on every fucking website. Try to pull it. Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna watch AEW tonight, so yeah.
I'm gonna try. I'm very tired, but we're gonna try. I think I can. Yeah, here we go. We got Ricochet and Brody King in the Continental Classic.
Fun.
We have Claudio and Will Ospreay. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good lord.
Right,
okay.
I'm gonna tune in for that one. And then we got Moxley and Pac versus Jay White and Orange Cassidy, which is
all right.
Okay. It may be a longer discussion on this Mox feud with Orange Cassidy. I don't love it. Okay, I think I'm at the point where they had a ton of momentum with Orange Cassidy, like last year, And I think it's kind of fallen off a little bit. Like the
Sure.
match with Mox, where I think Mox won the international title or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just doesn't feel like and I think we're getting to the point now with a couple of these AEW originals, they don't feel like a credible challenger at this point.
Fair.
But they're using Jay
Yeah,
White.
no, it's
I'm happy.
They are using Jay White, and I mean, compared to how we thought that this year would go for him, here we are.
2026 looks bright. Or 2025. Where am I?
There you go. It's the one before it.
Tired, man. Leave me alone.
Me too. It's time to make some dinner. So, on that note, I say we take this show home. Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. Again, Junkies Pod on X. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Please.
It takes like 5 seconds. Just head over there. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Again, if you like what we're doing here, we work our asses off to bring you the best shows that we can. Yes. Brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, you name it.
Side piece.
Yeah. We don't judge.
Anybody. I mean, just literally anybody. You can tell your dog. Create a YouTube for your dog.
Yeah.
Have him subscribe.
I like it. I like it. You should make one for the cat.
I have 3.
Cats. So, yeah. So there we go. There would be 3 new subscribers right there. So, you know.
Maybe I will.
Thank you. I think
it's kind of cheating.
Okay, fine.
Maybe I will.
Okay.
Don't worry. The kids will have a YouTube soon, and this will be the only thing they're subscribed to.
That'll work.
Programming note, no show tomorrow.
Nope.
Happy birthday, Mama Cincinnati.
Yes. And I can't wait to see the finished product. The podcast dad is going to go get some more ink. So we'll see what he's got. I know nothing about this, so I don't want to know anything about it until it's done. How about that?
Yeah. I forgot it was tomorrow, so oops.
Fair enough. That's all right.
But
that is going to do it for us this week. Oh, yeah, that's right. Main event mixer this Sunday. We're going to be talking a little bit of Saturday night's main event. I think at this point, you know, we've kind of made our predictions known as we've talked about the recent WWE story. There was 4 matches, I believe. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be breaking it down on the main event mixer. We'll be back on Monday as well. So thank you to everybody that joined us. Enjoy life. Have fun. Let's just be cool to each other. Wrestling is entertainment, and some people are dicks out there. Don't be one of them. For the podcast, Dad, Mr. Cincinnati, it's been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. We'll see you guys on Monday.